That's what we need a mirror for. Every time I try and put on lipstick, it gets on my piercing, and I like it clean. I like the way it looks clean. It's kind of a pain to try and talk once you put it on. Anyways, where to start? Welcome to my story time. I've been seeing a lot of these on YouTube lately. They're different stories about like first date, that time I was stalked, or you know, all those normal experiences that everybody goes through every day, right? Like being stalked, because that happens to all of us, right? The ones that I really connected with were definitely more the like
worst Tinder date story.
So I decided to give you guys a story from my life. Maybe you like it, maybe you won't. It's kind of crazy. I'm 26 years old. I think at this point in my life, I know what I want. Like most girls my age, we know what we want. Online dating is an easy place to find those things. Like you can literally write out a list that's like funny, smart, like intelligent, those kind of things. Smart, intelligent. Anyways, those kind of things like that you really want in a guy. It's a lot easier to put out there, no less. But like everybody else, you meet crazies. Doesn't matter whether you're on Tinder or OkCupid, there's crazies out there. I met quite a few. This story, however, is about a guy that I met on OkCupid maybe about a month back. We had gone out on a good date, got along really well. He's nice. He literally lived like 3 streets away from me, not far. So it was kind of cool, like, oh, hey, what you doing? Nothing. You want to watch a movie? Sure, let's hang out. Like, we hung out a few times. This was like maybe the 3rd or 4th time we hung out. He was like, hey, come over to my house. It was pretty late, but like neither of us could sleep. So he's like, come over, let's watch Netflix. Exactly.
Netflix and chill.
We have all fallen for it before. It's out there. It's big. Everybody's doing it. Anyways, we were hanging out, just having a good time. I mean, not having a good time. We got along really well. Like, we were having a good time watching a movie. I'd actually brought my laptop over because his computer was at the Mac store or something like that. One of those stories that probably wasn't true. At the time, I believed it. We watched a movie, and then it was like, I want to say it was around 2 o'clock in the morning, and he was like,
you ready to go home?
and I was like, yeah, I'm tired. And so we got in his car, which he'd driven me in a few times. Well, he said it was his mom's car. He wasn't lying about that. It was his mom's car. He had a truck. I had been in his truck too. But he was giving me a ride home in his mom's car. I live like right there, so I didn't think it was a big deal. Like, as we were turning from my place, like one major turn and then my street, and then whatever, like his street, turn onto a main street, and then my street. When we were turning, when we're on the main street, like getting ready to get into the like suicide lane to get into mine, he like swerved over weird and was like looking on the other side. And so I was like, what's going on over there? And so I looked, and he was like, oh my god, did you see that cop? And I was like, huh? And I turned around, and the cop had turned around and was like following us. I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of weird. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, like we're in our pajamas, like it's no big deal. So I was like, just pull over right, you know, on the side of the road, even though my house was just like right halfway down that street on the left. I was like, just pull over to the side here. And he pulled over to the side, and the cop like turned on his lights instantly, and I was like, oh, great. So we just got pulled over. Like, he was literally just in like basketball shorts and a t-shirt. He didn't have anything. Like, he barely grabbed his phone. Anyways, didn't have a phone. So I was like, okay. And so like he didn't have anything on him, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be great. And so like he's like, oh shit, and I'm like, yeah, oh shit. I didn't even have my seatbelt on. No, that's stupid. Everybody should put their seatbelt on, whether you're going 20 miles, 5 miles, like down the driveway. Wear your seatbelt. It's stupid. Like, but it was dumb. So where was I? Anyways, so he was like, oh shit. And I was like, yeah, oh shit, I didn't have my seatbelt on. And he's like, no, oh shit, I don't have a driver's license. Are you kidding me? What? This kid is 21 years old and doesn't have a driver's license.
I knew it. I was like, okay, like, he's probably gonna get impounded or something stupid. Like, I'm gonna get arrested. And I know that's like overthinking. I don't want to get arrested, but like, what? So I'm like, this is gonna be fun.
And I'm like, sitting there, and the cop like knocks on the door, and he was like, so, got nervous seeing me there or whatever? And the guy's like, yeah.
Yeah, I saw you and I got nervous, so I swooped in the lanes.
And the cop was like, yeah, I saw that. And he's like, well, I need your registration and your ID. And I'm like, wait, like, how is this kid gonna pull off? He's like,
Oh, I don't have anything on me. And he's like, and to be honest, I don't have my driver's license.
what? First, he doesn't tell me this. And then two, he looks the cop in the face and says, by the way, I don't have a driver's license. The cop's like, thanks for being honest. And I will tell you, this was like the coolest cop I have ever met. He was like, thanks for being honest, but you need to tell me why you don't have it. And like, it was ridiculous. Well, luckily, I have my driver's license. So the cop asked for my I was like, okay. And the cop's like, well, you have two options. Option one, you leave your car here and you walk home. He didn't live that far, so it wasn't that big a deal. But it was his mom's brand new 2015, like, Acura or something like that, you know? Not happening. And he's like, or option two, she, with her driver's license, drives you home, and then you walk her back home. And I'm like, oh my god. I literally was just about to go to bed. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. No.
I had to get into this kid's mother's car, drive him home, and then walk back to my place. So yes, there are crazy stories on Tinder, those crazy moments, and yes, I'm one of them. And yes, he called again. And again.
What guy in their right mind thinks after a date like that you're gonna want to hang out again? I don't need 21-year-olds without driver's license driving their mom's car and getting pulled over. Anyways, hope you enjoyed my story time. Sorry it was short. Thanks for joining my channel. See you guys. Bye.